Okay. It's Sunday, October 28th, 2020. And it's me, Kenneth Wesley Peters. I'm the author of this recording. Any use of this recording is strictly prohibited by me, the author, Kenneth Wesley Peters. It's for copyright purposes only. With a disclosure at this time that I do give permission for this video, once uploaded to Facebook and platforms like YouTube, to be shared. Okay, so the subject is white supremacy, I believe, and Jesus being sitting at the head of white supremacy. Let me qualify my statement. Now, saying in previous videos, I already stated that I'm not one who disbelieves in Jesus. That Jesus actually lived, and I believe that's quite a story that's quite possibly true. Let me be careful with my words. I actually believe there was a Jesus. I actually believe Jesus did the things that the Bible says. The controversy with Jesus comes with Islam and Christianity. Is Jesus the direct Son of God through Mary? Um, a let's say an eternal um, pregnation, um, of Jesus, and God being the Father of Jesus at the conception of Jesus in birth. Um, Muslims say that no, Jesus is a messenger. Um, he's one of many, and I believe they say that Muhammad is the last and whatnot. And Christians believe that you must go through Jesus to get to God. Muslims don't believe that. You can go directly to God. So there's controversy there. Uh, what I'm saying, Auntie, and it's no argument over here. No, like I don't want like feelings to be involved in it. I want to get down to the bottom of the issue. What I'm expressing is what I really feel. That's number one. I'm not giving up no jive. But let's look. Let's look and see what I'm talking about. Do you see any representation of dark melanated people in these European illustrations? A lot of it is Michelangelo, Angelo, and uh, you have archangel depictions of angels, male and female. What do we not see here, ladies and gentlemen? What do we see? What do we not see? I think, it goes without saying. All right. So just pull up, pictures of angels and original portraits, Michelangelo, any of those. Here's Julius Caesar being highly represented. And statues are being torn down. I'm not with that, to be turned down statues right now today, because we need to remember our history. And this is part of our history. I'm not mad at white supremacy. I'm not mad at Donald Trump because he don't pay his taxes. Over here, We know why Donald Trump don't pay his taxes or pay taxes or very little, while his service fees supposedly is only $750. I'm not mad at Donald Trump. He knows the law. He knows how to. You're really not supposed to be paying taxes. If you're paying taxes, you're actually in sin. That's the truth of the matter. But you won't hear Donald Trump come out with that. But maybe he is bold enough to say it. He ain't probably not supposed to be saying that. You know. Uh, what do we see here? Boom. All right. See, it's not just Jesus, but Jesus sits at the top. You have all of these images. Jesus sits at the top. Let's look at some of the ones I downloaded. Let's just go in and check out some of the ones I downloaded and take a look. See, we already saw what started the disagreement. Let's go back in. Let's see. Boom. Okay. Download. There we go. All right. Let's look at the ones I downloaded. So, I don't have to put them all up on the page. Okay. So let's just go through these. By the way, y'all, I basically have debated these issues inside and out that I'm discussing right now for a couple of heavy heated debates with real scholarly types, and each debate. Now we have, what do we have here? Now we have, you see the same image of the hand reaching up to something and then down. And what that is saying is sort of a bridge as above, so below. We begin to see these symbols, Auntie. Okay? And if you don't know what to look for, you can look at these images for a lifetime and not know that there's hidden messages in these images and in these paintings. Now, it's already stated that Michelangelo said when he was alive and making these type paintings that there were messages in them beyond what meets the eye's mind. Let me say the eye's mind. You have to know to a degree what to look for. If you know what you're looking for, it's easier. And once you done enough digging to know that a lot of this is encoded. Again, we see a dark image in this illustration. We don't necessarily see wings, Ani. Ethos family and local family. Positive vibes, bro. Hit me up. Do you see, bro? Did you see any wings? What we see is a brown body, Bev, and we see these pale toes stepping on the body. This is the symbol for Virginia too, by the way. One of the symbols for Virginia, the state of Virginia that I'm in right now. Now we see a brown man. We see a brown man, don't we? Positive vibes, right? This is what I'm talking about, bro. See, I don't get into stuff that I don't already know about. This is the thing. I'm not dropping nothing I already know y'all gonna come at me some kind of way with your personal, experiences in life, and when you came into the things that you've come into, um, that's great. And I'm inviting the debate. I'm challenging you right now. I don't want to sit down for no ribs through my mask. Okay. Now she's dusting, the universe with something. But again, what do we see? And what don't we see, Archie? You know where I'm going with this. Why are we even over here with this Art? Is there something else going on that we need to talk about? I'm making stuff public now because, we all on Zoom now. So, how do we get to the point where we got to have our cookout on Zoom with masks on? So I'm dealing with it. Let's get it. What do we see? What do we see? Ethos family. This is like the orthodox type ethos type stuff. Y'all in this too. Now pay attention. Positive vibes. We from the same part of town. Pay attention to the sword. And your other cousin over there, quiet, he knows exactly what I'm talking about. And you know who I'm talking about. He can break this down for you, but see, Kenny West, I'm not waving no flags. I don't belong to nobody's church. You see, I'm not, really voting Democrat or Republican. In fact, I don't vote at all. And nor am I choosing any type of religious sides. My favorite movie is The Gods Must Be Crazy. And it's an excellent movie because the bottle fell out of the sky from a crop plane that's crop duster. Somebody threw a Coke bottle, hit the Bushman in the head, and that his tribe made a religion out of it. So now let's take a look, see, at the 1, 2, and 3, and then the separation of the finger creates the V, right? The divide. But this is a symbol that's saying something. We're gonna get to it in a second. Let's keep it moving. You know, let's keep it moving because we're in the world of the AI now. Here's the V. This is symbolization also of the Taurus field. I know you don't see it, Auntie. You see an angel, but the angel has no face. Something going on there too. The face is masked. But we're gonna keep it moving. There's a beautiful sculpture. We ain't mad at white folk for being proud of who they are. But what don't we see? We see a light version of something here in a very dark situation going on down here. Now here in this one particular portrait, you see that there are black colored wings on the back of this looks to be man, beast, demon. And the reason I say that now is because it is clear that these wings are attached to this beast. Okay, but again, here in this illustration, you have darkness here at the soil, which is understandable, lightness in the sky, and you have the angel in the sky. And what do we see again? Right? This is what we see. This is how we, this is how they, and keep it real in 2020, this is how they, the supreme uh, white controllers or masters in the white race, convince the other ones that are controlled by them and under them who serve them, and it's a monarch system. It is a royal system of kings and queens, and then the royal family, and then the monarchs, and it goes from there. Those who work and service them have a higher living standard or more of a prestige over in Britain and over in Europe. Okay, this is the whole idea of the pyramid system that we're operating in, that has everybody under control and enslaved. I'm not a slave. Well, you're physically enslaved. Okay, you're physically enslaved. If you gotta wear a mask to go get a hot dog and Slurpee from the 7-Eleven, and you're getting punked at the counter because the register is clerk is saying, you gotta put your mask on if you're gonna eat today. So let's keep it moving. Here, where's the representation of anything else? Of anything else? Here we have darkness. Now, what does this do? Positive vibes. What does this do eventually? When you get to, it's a reoccurring theme, Auntie. It's a reoccurring thing. Here's Superman. Here's your hero that you need to save you. Here's white supremacy. This is white supremacy. What part of this? You know, why am I having to do this? Who don't know this? White folk know it very well. I don't have to discuss this with white folk, my coworkers, or none of that. We don't have to, they look at I'm intimidating them if I do something like this because they looking at me like, man, we already know this. It's your fault that's in the dark. Literally in the dark. All right, all right. Who don't know who they are, who can't see through, some angel eyes, right, and some angels' wings because they're whitewashed into a particular religion or faith is one thing. If it's working for you, work it. Now we finding all of this, and look at this very old illustration. And you see the circle behind the head, illustrating the sun. You must follow the sun. If and then you think it's a halo. No, it's the sun. Uh, what else? Or it's the ring of Saturn. One or the other. One or the other. Again, we see the positions of the hands. We have the arrow pointing up because you need to be going north. The arrow always points north on the compass. Okay, there's a lot going on here. There's a lot going on. It goes, it's an age-old thing. So let's count the one, two, three. That's representing something right there. That's representing something. It's representing something. Let's keep going. Okay, we're gonna get to a picture of Jesus, maybe. Here again, positive vibes. We have the as above, so below, and the sword, uh, slaying down into the darkness. And the reoccurring theme, baby angels. Here she is again. Female again. We get a lot of female angels with swords. Now we have the demons being stricken. You have white demons too. But it's the recurring theme of darkness. Okay, coming down from the sky, you have a male angel. Reoccurring theme, reoccurring theme, reoccurring theme. All right, let's try to find out one more. Let's try to find one more, and that's Jesus. And we're going to show you what we mean by the positioning of the hands and the arms and everything else like that. This ain't nothing I went into no book for. I already know this stuff. Not one time during the 30-day awakening that I necessarily go into a book for information. I was showing telling books, but I wasn't going into those books for no real information. I might go pull a verse out of the Bible about Job or something like that, but and I did read Job before I got into Job because I needed to get reacquainted with that, and so that's what I did. Now, yeah, reoccurring themes. Uh, you know, is George Floyd really George Floyd, or am I just paranoid? The truth is going in and pulling out the evidence, right? Rather than me shooting off at the mouth. Cause see over here, in Godzilla world, this is how we get down. You know. Now we can get over on some other people's pages and maybe it's a little less, vicious over there with it. But we know that we're at war. So we ain't playing. We doing this out of love. But I guarantee you all up in there is some incest and whatever's going on in there, there's not very little representation for any hierarchy of any other group of people on the planet when it comes to white supremacy. Now, anybody can use the white supremacy concept. In fact, just as many whites are victimized by white supremacy. See, white supremacy is not the white people. White supremacy is a concept. And if you master the concept, it can be enforced and be very, very, very effective. That's what white supremacy is. Okay. Now, Jesus was in a time where there was more dark people on the earth, a region where there were dark people on the earth, a hot region where people had woolly hair. Okay, Jesus was from the area of where the original man was very dark, so dark that they had purple. Appears when the sun is very high at noon in the sky. You can see the purple bleeding from the skin and shining and reflecting on the skin. The purple people, the people that you have been told to chastise, to damnate, the people who have been cursed, put below ground, literally exterminated, uh, you know, chased about the earth away from their natural habitat, fed foods that are made for Europeans, not sun-driven, highly absorbent of sunlight, nutrients, and good information, melanated beings, densely melanated beings, have a certain diet. This is what Sebi was alluding to get to. Once you are beyond your 10% that your masters have told you you can use, once you start opening up those channels again, maybe you don't think the people who are seeing spirits and different things are as crazy as you may think that is, because now your channels are more open. You can start to look at illustrations like this for a fraction of a second, and you see all types of deception. You see all types of corruption. Here she is again, hands in the same position. As above, so below. She's slaying the beast below her. It does have wings, you know, back into darkness. But then we have these other illustrations. Let me go to, let me see. All right, let's try Jesus. Last Supper. Let's go to the Last Supper. Supper. Last Supper. Leonardo da Vinci's Last Supper. Leonardo da Vinci, by the way, on Bell was a 33rd degree Mason. I'm not knocking the Masons. There's good people in every organization. I'm just a soloist. Jesus was moving solo, and people was following him. But as a soloist. Boom. Okay. Let's count this off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then there's Jesus, right? Isn't that Jesus, Auntie? There's Jesus. And then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 and 6 equals 12. Now, I'm saying that Jesus is the number 12. If you add Jesus in, that's 13 people sitting at the table. But you have 6 disciples on one side of Jesus, 6 on the other side. We're saying 12, right? Jesus is the number 21. Why? I already talked about it. It says, the Bible follow the Son. I'm telling you, what you may disagree with, Aunt Bev, that the science of the actual SUN, sun, the so-called planet, which is really probably a light orb or some sort of, you know, if it's just a fireball, you can't really call it a planet. But at any rate, I'm not an expert in that. At any rate, tracks the track of the sun, you will see the story of Jesus fits it. Somebody needs to explain that to me. How is the story of Jesus? See, we're saying story here of Jesus, and I'm not saying there was no actual Jesus. What I'm saying is, in the Bible, there are allegories being used as symbols and metaphors. There are also riddles and rhymes in the Bible. Verily, verily unto me is spoken in a riddle. Verily, verily unto me, or very early unto me. Okay, you have in the Bible, in my estimation, metaphors for certain things. You need to justify the law. How do white supremacists justify their law? They use the symbol of Jesus and having to follow Jesus in Jesus' way to justify their law in arresting people, incarcerating people. Why? You must have violated some kind of way. If you violate law, and God's law or Jesus's law is the natural law, that's why I deal with natural law. Now, if we're looking at the science is corrupted. It's a religion within itself. My partner's right. He wins that over me. He convinced me now that that is a religion because it's intertwined in the people's faith. They have intertwined these things together. Now, you have to ask yourself, and this is very easily provable. I proved it in previous videos. If you actually watch the videos, which many of you don't. My man D Mo is one of them. D the White, one of them. I'm calling you out. You clicking in and clicking out, bro. You're not gonna get this if you acting on emotion number one, right? Now, I had two cousins the previous year. One challenged me on COVID-19, and if any of you know anybody who has it, I still don't. And I do this type of work every day. And because I do it every day, I'm not so quick to jump into something because the news said it. Now you see how fraudulent the news is. Now you see how fraudulent your government is. My mind is in the private side of things. Am I still working a job and operating, in and out? Yes. But my mind is on the private side of things. If I get arrested today, I'm immediately exercising my private solvent rights. You don't know them, you need to start studying them. We're right in that time. See, everything I've done up to date for the past 10 years is to prepare myself for this very day. That's why it seems like Kenny knows the future, but no, like fantasy. Fantasy, because I know the nature of cheats and Las Vegas and diabolical, not diabolical, but corrupt owners and controllers of the NFL. If you can figure out what the narrative is, like the Cowboys and the Indians and the Cowboys and the Washington Football Club is playing today, the previous Washington Redskins, if you understand the narrative and where it goes and you look at it, you can kind of guesstimate what is going to occur. Well, just use deductive reasoning, Auntie. Why are we why do we keep seeing 6 and 6 and 12 and 21? And in the movie Alice in Wonderland, you look in the mirror for the reverse image, and that is your opposite or nemesis. What is the opposite of black? White. What is the opposite of white? Black. If white is pure, white is the supreme, you need to get to the higher light. And see, what they also use is to say that white is light. White is not light. You have white in light, and when you play the color game, you get caught up in it. You get mentally convinced that you need white to get to God. You need white to be able to eat. You need white to be your savior. Therefore, white ends up taking 90% of your ability to think. Why? Because you went for that too, Auntie, when you was in high school. I know they told you that over at Spingarn, that you only use 10%. Now, Nature Boy of all people, who look like our cousin, who look like our family member, look like he could be my brother, right? Maybe your nephew, is telling you he went from New York City in the gutter, eating garbage, eating slave food, to South America where the sun shines all day. He got into the forest, started eating natural fruits and herbs, opened up the channels in his mind that Sebi, who loves you so much, was trying to tell you, went to his grave trying to tell you. They took him out, him trying to tell you. They took Nipsey out, trying to tell you about him. Every time I talk about Sebi, you get this guy Zorro or Zorro, this white man comes, and all these people start coming in. That's AI. That is the AI algorithm punching all these people into my channel. I don't know none of them people. Just mention Dr. Sebi and watch all these monkeys start popping up, talking about how they